Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about the violent political left, how they are pushing us towards civil war, how they are dividing us, and now we gotta talk about how we are gonna stop this before the left push us into civil war with no point of return. We gotta talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, and donate to Nikki's World, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook, guys. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and you guys want to be able to say stuff that would get you blocked, suspended, and deplatformed on Facebook, well then, head on over to my friends at Minds.com. So guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with Byrna. Byrna is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top-of-the-line Byrna SD, Byrna LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest, ladies and gentlemen, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, guys, really, if you do, then head on over to my friends at Byrna.com. Also, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply, they make their top of the line North Shore Megamax diaper, their North Shore Supreme pull-up, and the Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know someone out there that needs to wear adult diapers, that needs to be put in adult diapers like I do, guys, well then, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, where they will make sure that they are diapered up and padded up like always. And before we get the show on the road, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, can you please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. And yes, guys, I am diapered up as always in my North Shore Megamax diapers with my Eterna boosters, and I'm wearing my onesies from Little Comforts. So I'm diapered up, padded up. Let's get on with the show, shall we? So, as y'all know, guys, we had our memorial service the other day for Charlie Kirk, ever since he got assassinated on September 10th, 2025. The political left now has become so violent, so extreme now, that we're one step closer to civil war. We literally are, guys. We are one step closer to civil war in this country. I hate to say this to everyone. We are being pushed to civil war because the left in this country can't learn to agree and disagree. They can't. They can't learn to agree and disagree like everyone else. They can't learn to accept people who have opinions that are different from them. They seem to they seem to cringe when somebody has viewpoints and beliefs that are different from them. They seem to do. Yeah, they really do. In this article today, okay, from the American Thinker, Charlie Kirk's assassination exposes the vast chasm dividing American society. Yeah, they really do. Charlie Kirk's assassination has exposed how divided we really are, how politically and socially we are so divided that we're a step closer to becoming the next Yugoslavia. We're a step closer to becoming the next Balkan conflict. Yeah, the divide is so bad, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say this. I hate to say this, guys. We are a step closer to a civil war in this country. And if cooler heads don't prevail, and if we don't put a stop to this, we're gonna be headed to civil war territory. And none of us don't want to see that. Because most of us have seen what civil wars have done to society. Most civil wars, the left thinks the Civil War is going to be like, oh, kumbaya and all this shit. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. The Civil War that they think that it's all going to be like kumbaya, like all that. It's not. It's going to be violent and ugly. And I'm going to say this on the show. The side that knows how to use guns is the side that's going to win. And the side that doesn't know how to use guns or doesn't know what bathroom to use or what sex they are, they're going to lose royally. And they really are. But what I'm here to say like this, guys, we don't want to cross that line into civil war. We don't. The way the left has been going by dividing us, by basically saying that, oh, if you don't agree with me and this, I'm gonna call for this and this and this. No, no, we don't want that. We do not want that. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, the left in this country has been calling for political violence. They have been calling for people to be either canceled, like harmed, threatened, doxxed, and bullied for just basically having an opinion that's different from them. And to me, ladies and gentlemen, that's political violence. That's terrorism. Yeah, that's terrorism. And then you also got the violent left who spew hate speech and threatening hate speech. That is where these people need to go to jail. These people need to go to prison. These people don't belong in polite society. To me, guys, the left that's inciting political violence is the left that should not be allowed in polite society. It's the left that should not be allowed to live with you, me, and everyone else. They should not be allowed. And to me, guys, I don't want this level of violence in this country. But we're seeing this every day. That's why it's causing people like me to arm up. Hell, I carry a Byrna LE because I believe in self-defense, but I believe in less lethal self-defense. But the way the violent left has become, they're leaving us with no choice. They're leaving us with no choice but to open carry or conceal carry to defend ourselves just because we have opinions and viewpoints they don't like. Yeah. And these are the same leftists, ladies and gentlemen, that think that having a viewpoint that's different from you is hate speech, or that you should be put to death having opinions that are different from you. This is why people like me conceal carry, because we want to protect ourselves. We want to defend ourselves. Yeah. But the violent left in this country, ever since Charlie Kirk's assassination on September 10th, they've been ratcheting it up. They've been going at it like nonstop. You go on X and you see all the violent rhetoric that's being posted on shit talk, on like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on X itself. You sit there and you wonder, why should we get along with these people? Why should we get along with people who call for political violence, who threaten, who basically dox and intimidate anyone? Why should we? Why? Because these people don't belong in polite society. These people are so vile, so vicious, that they belong in federal prison. They belong in prison with a mandatory minimum of 15 to life. It's that simple. The fact that they don't know how to agree and disagree, but call for political violence if you don't agree to their bullshit ideology, that's not how the fucking world works, ladies and gentlemen. Who taught these idiots that that's how the world works? Sometimes you just gotta you just gotta go like this. Fucking out of your damn mind. Fucking crazy. Fucking nuts. Insane. I tell people like this. If you can't learn to agree and disagree over a person's political views, opinions, and beliefs, you shouldn't be allowed in society. You shouldn't be allowed in polite society. You shouldn't be allowed among people like you, me, and everyone else. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. If you can't learn to agree and disagree, why the fuck should we have you in society in the damn first place? Why? Why? Explain that to me, ladies and gentlemen. Explain that to me as I'm in my diaper and my onesie. Explain that to me. Why should I be allowing people who can't learn to agree and disagree to be with us in society? Explain that to me, ladies and gentlemen. Explain that to me. Because to me, ladies and gentlemen, the left has been ratcheting up the level of violence. And judging by this article from the American Thinker, they're creating a split. They're pushing us to civil war. I'm telling you this. Once we hit civil war left, there's no going back. There's no putting the genie in the bottle. There's no closing the box that you opened. Once you open that Pandora's box, there's no going back, ladies and gentlemen. There is no going back. You can't go back on what you started. Once you open that box, once you cross that line, once you open that genie in the bottle, there's no putting that genie back, ladies and gentlemen. There's no putting that genie back. Because the fact is, you creating a divide in this country and pushing us to civil war is something that this country doesn't want. But you guys keep inciting it every day. It's like telling me that, yeah, you want to incite a civil war because you don't like people for their opinions and viewpoints. You don't like conservatives, libertarians, Republicans, MAGA, or anyone associated with Turning Point USA. You don't like those people, but then you want to call for them to be wiped out? And yeah, you think I want to be associated with people like that? Hell no, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even want to be associated with these people. I want these people gone. I want these people wiped out. I want these people, like, basically thrown in jail because they can't learn to agree and disagree and be adult about it. I hate to say this, that's probably the ugliest truth. They can't learn to be a decent adult. They can't. But this is where we're at right now. Day after having a memorial service for Charlie Kirk. Yeah, this is where we're at. The left getting so vile, vicious, violent, basically pushing us to civil war. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Telling you, man, this is where we're at right now. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're being pushed to civil war. And I'm telling you, once they cross that red line of political violence, political terrorism, and civil war, there's no going back on that, ladies and gentlemen. There is no takebacks. I'm sorry. We're going to enforce the Pottery Barn rule. You break it, you own it. You cross that red line into political violence, political terrorism, and civil war, you own it. And I'm telling you, once you own it, there's no takebacks. There's no, oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Nope. You do it, you own it. It's that simple. It really is. And if you can't see that and you can't understand that, telling you guys right now, you better make your peace with whoever you like worship to. You better make your peace. Because I'm gonna just say this, I'm gonna just say it like it is. Once you cross that red line, there's no going back. There is none. There is none. And then this one article, and I'm going to talk about this too, from the Federalists, okay? Here's the article. How do you take down the terrorist left? Like how we talked about earlier, about how they're dividing us. How do we take them down? How do we prevent them from crossing that line into political violence, political terrorism, and civil war, because those three things, that's not what America has been built on. America has been built on for freedom of speech, protecting your right to speak freely. Okay? I don't care how hateful it is. I'll defend your right to say whatever you want. I will. I literally will. But when you cross that line into political terrorism, ladies and gentlemen, like political violence and civil war, there's no defending that, ladies and gentlemen. There's no defending that. That's why I like this article so much. Because let me tell you this. There needs to be criminal prosecutions. And I agree with this article. There needs to be criminal prosecutions. People who like incite political violence, terrorism, and incite like civil war should not be protected. They should never, ever be protected. People like me, who have seen what civil wars have done, who have read up histories, who have seen what happens, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there. We're trying to prevent that. But the problem is, you got violent leftists who are inciting this. You got violent leftists who are trying to divide this country up because of the fact that they can't learn to agree and disagree like a grown-ass adult. They can't. And it kind of pisses me off. It kind of does. It kind of makes me mad that we have to see this. It kind of makes me angry that people can't learn to be respectful. Okay? People can't. The left can't learn to be respectful. They can't. They all have to gloat about, oh, Charlie Kirk got assassinated, or oh, Charlie Kirk deserved it. Let me tell you this. I can't agree with people like that. I can't. I won't, I'll never. Yeah, sure, I'll defend their right to say it, but for that level of violence? For that violent rhetoric? Come on, homeboy. Yeah, come on, homeboy. Why would I want to defend that shit? Why would I want to support that? Why would I want to say, oh, that's a good thing that they said that? I don't. That's just vile, sick, and disgusting. That shit should get your ass thrown in jail. That shit should get your ass fired. That shit should get your ass tossed in a prison cell. That shit should. Yeah, that shit should. On top of that, that shit should get you labeled as a domestic terrorist. And I know President Trump is labeling Antifa as a domestic terrorist group. And I have heard rumblings that the FBI is looking at labeling the trans cult as a terrorist group. Yeah, that shit right there should get you labeled as a violent extremist and a violent terrorist. That shit right there. On top of that, guys, we have young leftists who are in colleges and universities who are being enabled, pushed, and basically indoctrinated into the violent extremist left. This is where I sit there and I go at this. There should be no tax dollars going to these people. Any federal money going to this place should be ripped out from them, should be yanked from them. They really should. Why should my tax dollars be funding leftist hate in this country? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It should be removed permanently. It should be removed with every fucking fiber. Every dollar, every cent should be removed from that place. Why should we be funding hate? We shouldn't. But our tax dollars somehow winds up in universities that pushes for this shit. Yeah, we shouldn't. As far as going after the left, as far as going after the violent left, start using RICO. Start using like the criminal code. Because I'm telling you, man, there are laws in place that says that, yeah, you can have views that are different, but once you espouse views or incite violence, you're not protected. You'll get prosecuted, you get arrested, prosecuted, thrown in jail. Yeah. We need to start doing that because we need to prevent a civil war from being started in this country. And I'm telling you this, and I'm going to say this: the side that knows how to use guns is the side that's going to win. And the side that doesn't know what bathroom to use or what sex they are is the side that's going to lose badly. And when they lose badly, I feel sorry for y'all people. I really do. I feel so sorry for y'all people. But I'm just going to say like this, man. I'm just going to say like this. The violent rhetoric that we're seeing on social media in the workplace, that's got to stop. That's got to stop. For Charlie Kirk's sake, that's got to stop. Because the people who are like inciting violent rhetoric, that's got to stop. Because I'm telling you, for the sake of Charlie Kirk, that's got to stop immediately because we don't want to cross that line into political violence, political terrorism, and civil war. We do not want to cross that because once you cross that line, there's no going back. There's no defending that. I don't care who you are, what side you are, there is no defending that. Okay? I don't care what side of the aisle you are, but once you cross that line into political violence, political terrorism, and civil war, there's no take backs. There's no, oh, I didn't mean it shit. There isn't. Once you cross that, there's no going back, ladies and gentlemen. There is no going back, and we're not taking it back. We're not, guys. But I'm telling you, what we are doing today is defending and making sure that the other side doesn't cross that line. And what that means is people on the left who incite political violence should not be protected by anonymity or social media. Should not. They should be prosecuted, arrested, thrown in jail. And the people who destroy memorials for Charlie Kirk, y'all people should be thrown in jail immediately. No bail, held in jail until the outcome of your case. And if you're doing time in jail, so be it. Okay? So be it. The people who incite political violence, if you can't do the time in jail, then don't be an asshole and dick about it. Okay? Don't incite political violence if you can't do the time in jail. If you can't, if you're not willing to be a man, so to speak, to do the time in jail, then don't incite political violence. Respect the other side's political opinions. Have an open dialogue without resorting to beating the shit out of someone for their viewpoints. Let's be the adult here in the room. Let's be the grown up here in the room. Okay? Sure, I may disagree or like have a viewpoint that's different from everyone, But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna call for political violence. I'm just gonna say, hey, you have an opinion that's different from me? That's cool. But the left, on the other hand, you see them like inciting political violence. You see them calling hatred for the other side. And you see the other side calling for like people to be like put to death for their opinions. My thing is like this, ladies and gentlemen, political violence is wrong. And the way I look at it like this, the side that calls for political violence is the side that should be arrested, prosecuted, and thrown in jail. To me, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the RICO statute laws should be in place. We have criminal laws in place already, and I know Dan and Cash have those laws in place that can be used to go after the violent political left. And basically, guys, that needs to be done in this country because the violent political left right now, guys, they need to be thrown in jail. They really do. I like that article from the Federalist on how to take down the terrorist left, and that is a good example of how we prevent a civil war in this country. Because the way I look at it, guys, we are close to heading to a civil war. And that's something that we don't want in this country. That's something that we don't need. We don't. But the problem is right now, guys, we're being pushed towards it. We're being pushed towards civil war in this country. And this is something that we don't want in this country. We don't. But the left is is like basically pushing us there. They're pushing us right there, right there, right there. They literally are. But to me, guys, I'm just gonna say like this, and I'm just gonna say like this, guys. We can't be pushed into a violent civil war. We just can't. But I'm just gonna say like this, guys, and I'm gonna say like this. Cooler heads need to prevail. Cooler heads do. And if we don't have cooler heads, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, man, we don't have a normal society. We don't. And to me, ladies and gentlemen, the violent political left should be treated like a terrorist organization. Should be, in my opinion. And this is why I've said this, guys, and I'll say this many times. The left should be treated like a terrorist if they're calling for violent political rhetoric. Yeah, I said it. I said it, guys. I said it. Y'all can chew the fat out of my ass and all that shit. But I said it, guys. I said it. And the fact of the matter is, guys, the left is so violent right now. The way they talk about the other side makes me wonder why law enforcement should be going after these people. And I'll say this: if we had a normal functioning law enforcement in this country, the left would not be allowed to say shit. The left would have been arrested a long time ago. Law enforcement would have been kicking down their door, hauling them to jail, saying, "We're charging you with making violent terroristic threats." Yeah, if we had a functioning, normal law enforcement in the United States of America. But I'm waiting to see how Cash, Dan, and Pam and Christy are going to respond. I'm waiting to see how they're going to respond to the violent left. I'm waiting, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I really am. But to me, guys, I'm going to say like this. We need to prepare to defend ourselves. We really do. We really do. I'm sorry to say this, guys. I'm sorry to say this. We need to prepare to defend ourselves against the violent left. We really do. Because I'm gonna say like this: the violent left in this country has gotten so bad right now. From the first Trump administration to now. Now's the time to be more like Charlie Kirk. To be more like, hey, I agree with your. It's like this. I'm here to have an open dialogue. I'm here to say like this. We agree and disagree. But if you're going to call for violence, the fact that you can't agree to my viewpoints, but I'm willing to agree your viewpoints, then we shouldn't have a dialogue. Then you should be arrested, prosecuted, and thrown in jail for it. You should. But the fact of the matter is, this is the left who thinks words are violence, but they can't learn to agree and disagree. I'm gonna say like this: for the sake of Charlie Kirk, it's time to it's time for both sides to end the political rhetoric. It's time to say like this: for the sake of Charlie Kirk in this country, no more political violence. Yeah. And to the violent left, you keep ratcheting this shit up, you're going to find yourself in a 7 by 12 prison cell facing at least 15 to 20 years. You're going to find yourself in that shit. Yeah. This is why, for the sake of Charlie Kirk, the those on the right need to defend freedom of speech. Need to be able to say, yes, let's have an open dialogue. Whether you agree or disagree, talking about it, being the adult about it, is the best way to go. And it's the best solution out there. But the problem is the left. The left, for some reason, they can't learn to agree and disagree. They can't learn to have a have a discussion. They have to resort to name calling, bullying, doxing, threatening, intimidating, and inciting violence. Oh, I've seen that many times, ladies and gentlemen, especially from the violent leftist trans call. When they can't seem to agree and disagree over opinions, but then they resort to violence because you can't go along with their fetish, their kink, their mental illness and perversion. I've seen that. And these are the people that the left champions, or the left says, oh, these are great people. No, these are violent people. And these people don't fucking deserve to be in polite society. They literally don't, guys. And I'm going to say this: they literally don't. And this is why I'm saying, for the sake of Charlie Kirk, we need to do all we can to prevent the left from going to a civil war, from going into political violence. Because once they go past that line to political violence, political terrorism, and civil war, there's no going back, ladies and gentlemen. There's no defending that shit. There is no way that we can defend that. There is no way that we're gonna say, oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, we're not. You're never gonna get me to to defend political violence. You're never gonna get me to defend political terrorism or civil war. For the sake of Charlie Kirk, we're not defending that. We're defending your right to say what you want. That's protected under the United States Constitution. And I tell people on show here, carry a copy of the United States Constitution with you. Know the Bill of Rights. Know your rights very well. Carry that, because that is the best weapon against the violent political left in the United States of America. Know those. Once you know those are the biggest weapons out there since guns. knowing the knowledge of knowing your constitutional and civil rights, and knowing those is the best political weapon against your opponent. And that to me would be the best thing in the world. It would. And I for one agree with that, and I really do. But I'm gonna say like this, guys, on the show today, I will never defend anyone who resorts to political violence, political terrorism, civil war, or who incites violence on the other side just because they don't like their opinions and viewpoints. I will never defend that, guys. You'll never see me defend that. Because I'm gonna tell you this. That is indefensible. That is like saying nope, nope, nope. We're not defending that. We're not supporting that. We're not even allowing that. We're just gonna say like this. You get what you deserve, and if you get thrown in jail for inciting political violence, political terrorism, civil war, and using hate speech to incite violence, you don't get to be defended. You don't get to be protected. I don't care whose side of the aisle you're on. You don't get to be protected. And if any leftist out there that protects people who incite political violence, you get deserved to be canceled, and you deserve to get to face the consequences. You literally do. Yeah, you deserve to face the consequences that you get. But I'm just going to say like this, guys. I'm just going to say like this. Inciting inciting political violence, political terrorism, inciting a civil war, and in this case, inciting violence in the name of hate speech, that's 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 no way indefensible, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way I'm going to defend that. There's no way I'm going to protect that. There's no way I'm going to say that's all cool and all that. There's none, guys. There's none. And to me, guys, for the sake of Charlie Kirk out there, and I know we only got a few minutes left, guys, because I know I got to do some shit. But for the sake of Charlie Kirk out there, and for Erica Kirk, let's stop the left from going into civil war. Let's stop these guys. Let's stop them. Let's be more of the adult in this room. Let's be more of the grown up in this room and the big kid in this room by saying, no, we're not going to go to that. You leftists that want to say that, you deserve to face the consequences. You deserve to be canceled. You deserve to be deplatformed. You deserve to face prison time. Pretty much, guys. Pretty much. But I am going to say like this, guys. I am going to say like this. The left deserves what it gets. The left deserves to face the consequences for what they say. And I'm telling you this right now. You know how the left always loves to say the internet's forever, and what I say is this and this and this. Well, I'm gonna say like this, leftists. That applies the same to you. Whatever you say online is forever. Whatever you say online never goes away. It never, guys. It never. So if you think what you say about people on the right calling for like political violence, political terrorism, civil war, or inciting political violence, that doesn't go away, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't go away. And that comes back to bite you in the ass and bite you in the ways that you never thought could be possible. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna pretty much say it. That comes back to bite you in the ass. That literally does, guys. Don't get me wrong. That comes back. And if the left doesn't believe it, well, you know what they say? Karma is a bitch. And when karma hits you, you get what's coming to you, guys. You get what's coming. But to me, guys, I'm going to say this before we end the show today. For the sake of Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk out there, let's end this political violence. Let's end this political rhetoric. Let's stop this political terrorism in this country, because this political terrorism in this country is going to divide us. And this is what Charlie Kirk would not want in this country. Okay? Let's end it, okay? Let's really do. Wow, that was a good show, guys. That was a good show. I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see you all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.